There's something that often comes as a shock once a spell starts to break, which is that finally seeing things clearly does not immediately feel like freedom. It is actually a normal part of real deep change to feel disorientation, fear, loss, and also profound grief for what we lost or forfeited while we were trapped in an illusion. So, physiologically, these are actually markers of neuroplasticity, your brain forming new connections. And spiritually, they are signs of entering the void of possibility. The primitive parts of our brains are wired to treat anything unfamiliar as danger, and our culture teaches us to value comfort over authenticity. So it's really normal to feel kind of trapped on this knife edge of letting the familiar view of the world crumble and opening to something that's radically new. Facing that deeply unsettling realization that so much of what is normalized in every institution in patriarchal society is coercive, extractive, and violent is not something that we can just metabolize in one go, and it's also not something that we can face alone. This is especially true when the gaslighting is collapsing not just intellectually but in our bodies. So our clarity arrives faster than our capacity to stay with it or process it. Our nervous systems now know what we could not safely acknowledge before, and they don't automatically register where to put that knowing. So for neurodivergent women, this phase can be particularly destabilizing because we don't wake up halfway. Once we see something, our bodies register it fully and intensely. There's no dimmer switch, there's no moderation. So without structure and pacing and shared language, and this clarity can just take us to burnout. We can feel more isolated than we did when we were trying to make things work inside the illusion, inside the lie. This doesn't mean that we're failing. It just means that our systems are recalibrating after years of enforced confusion and self-betrayal. So freedom is not just the collapse of illusion, it's the slow, supported learning of how to live after the illusion falls. And that requires consistency and repetition and validation and relationship and time. Most of us are not given safe places to metabolize truth together, especially not truth that threatens gender roles and family myths or the social order itself. So if you're in that strange in between, that you're no longer asleep, but you're not grounded yet, let this be a reminder that you are not meant to do this alone. And you're also not meant to rush it. Awakening is kind of a doorway, and then the freedom is what comes once we learn how to walk through that doorway together.